I was going to make this video yesterday, but then I thought, well, Andy, you need to read all these comments under my community post on my channel. So I did. And I lost it completely. So thank you so much for all your kind and warm and heartful comments. And some of you also shared your stories there, which was very sad and hard to read. It really feels good that we can talk to friends about everything. And I feel like in these times we are connected in a different way than we usually would be. And I don't want to make this intro here too long, but if you are in a similar situation, either just in the recent past or in the near future, you can always come back to this community post I left and share your thoughts and your story and your feelings. So once again, thank you very much for all your comments and thoughts. It has helped a lot to talk to friends. So, and let's make this damn video now. Also, what a beautiful day. Usually I don't say yes when it comes to testing 12-volt batteries, but in this case, when Gobelpower asked me to test their new 12-volt 280 ampere-hour battery, I also said no. I'm getting probably 10-15 emails a week from companies in China. They want me to promote their 12-volt 100 ampere-hour battery, and honestly, they all look the same. They all have the same features, so there's nothing special, so I always say no. But from time to time I say yes when batteries have special features we haven't seen before, or I just think it is interesting here for the channel as well. You know, we have tested the AO Lithium 12-volt 100 ampere-hour battery because this was one of the first ones which had an app. So we could actually use the mobile phone and log into the BMS and see all the data of all the cells and everything. That was revolutionary, back in the day at least. Then we had the 12-volt 100 ampere-hour battery from Basin because we know the Basin company. We have also tested the 12-volt 300 ampere-hour battery, and we have also tested the Müller 12-volt battery here because this comes with all the USB charging Anderson connectors and a 250 amp charge and discharge capability. Is that actually correct? No, 200 amps we are saying, 200 amps, sorry. And I'm using this battery here all the time with the Peter inverter, running the chainsaw and the electric shredder. 200 amps, lots of power. Yeah, and today we've got this one here. This is a bit special as well. Let me show you. But first of all, guys, welcome back to the off-grid garage here in sunny hot Australia. And as you can see, it is a bit echoey in here now. Half of the garage, oh no, actually 2/3 of the garage is actually cleaned up from this yucky, disgusting cloth. And I can hear my voice echoing now from the metal roof. It doesn't matter, this will change soon. First, let's have a look into the sky, as always. Beautiful, nice weather. Seen 140 amps today. At the moment we have got only 25. Yeah, some clouds coming and going. But I managed to keep the battery between 40 and 80% state of charge now, so it's all good. And of course, welcome to all the new subscribers here to the channel. Thank you for 85,000 subscribers. It's just... oh my god, really 85,000, oh my god. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, let's open this box. Oh, nice cardboard. No plastic corners. Cardboard. I like it. Here as well, cardboard protectors for the corners. Ooh, there it is. Comes with a strap sticker with barcodes, presumably for the BMS. And I think this is only a lifting strap. This is not really a carrying strap. It's only to lift out the battery out of tight spaces like this one. It is heavy. It is 26 kilos. Okay, here it is. Whew. Okay, forget about the premium stuff here. This is actually the standard battery they have sent me, which I wanted. They told me the standard printing didn't make it in production, so they only had premium cases. But this is the standard battery. So obviously there's a premium and a standard version of this 12-volt 280 ampere hour battery. And they make these batteries here in 12-volt and 24 volts with 100 ampere hours, 200, 280 and 304 ampere hours. So whatever you need, they got it. This is the model number. 14.6 volts is the maximum charge voltage, 200 amp charge current, 200 amp discharge current. Nice. And here comes one of the specialties of this battery. Maximum series connections of these 12-volt batteries is 4S. So you can actually series connect these batteries here to a 48-volt battery. Yep, that is allowed, 4S. And you can also parallel connect them with 4P. I mean, parallel connection is not a problem at all. You can potentially parallel as many as you want, as long as you have the appropriate safety devices connected to your batteries, like circuit breaker or fuses. They've got now a QR code for after sales service. And here it says, first step, scan to download the Xiaoxiang electric app. And there's another barcode. I don't know what this one is for. Assume this QR code. Yeah, this is just the serial number of the battery. And here on the other side is the same printing again. So yeah, that's pretty much all. So here on the top we've got negative and positive M8 terminal and a waterproof vent. And a very brief look at their website. Standard, premium. Standard, premium. The only difference is the standard edition, which I have here, uses the Lithium 280 ampere hour cells. And the premium uses the EVE LF 280K, which we all know already. And here, having a look at the specifications of the standard battery and now switching to the premium battery, it looks exactly identical. So both have the same specifications here, 200 amp charging, discharging. Both battery models, premium and standard, can be series connected with up to 4 units to a 48-volt battery. And you can download the full specification sheets of both batteries on their website, as well as the BMS data sheet. Okay, let's have a look on the mobile phone if you can see this BMS already. Ah, there it is at the top. It's the GPLA12 whatever premium. This is a JBD BMS. It's the DB04, what it says here. I'm not reading this out now. It's a 200 amp BMS. And you can see I've already pre-charged this battery to 99% because it took me a while. The weather wasn't quite there and there was no excess energy actually I could use to charge this battery. So it took me like 5 or 6 days or something to fully charge this battery with a small power supply, sitting on 2 amps only and trickle charging this battery up to 99% now. We will do the rest 1% charge together now and see how these cells actually match together, how they perform. Because at the moment we have 7 millivolt deviation here, and you can see they're all together. They are 3.4 volts, so they are actually almost 100% charged. But before we do that, I want to show you something else. Here on the website there's also the waterproof certificate, an IPX6. Yeah, you can download it, you can read it. Why not give this battery our own waterproof certificate? Oh, it is heavy, it is heavy. IPX6 can do a bit more. these companies, they should know me by now. If they promise something, they should know I'm testing it. It's like giving a baby a bath, right? So this was like 2 minutes with a full jet of the garden hose, aiming at the seam where the lid connects to the box, and also around the terminals and this waterproof vent. Okay, that should do. Well, I'll tell you what, some of the stickers are not waterproof. There's no after-sales service anymore, at least not for this battery. So Gobelpower, there's your first improvement point. Okay, and then here is the moment of truth. Let's open the lid, if we can open it. No, it doesn't. Doesn't seem to come. Let's give it some encouragement. I hope it's not completely glued or something to make it watertight. Can't open it. It's not moving. Yeah, I think I cracked it open now. But what I could feel when I turned around the battery here was that the batteries are actually moving inside the box. At least it felt that way, that a big mass is going back and forward. So, it'll be interesting now. Okay, so you can see the positive negative cables over there, the BMS here in the middle, and we've got the balance. No, that is actually a temperature sensor, is it? That is not water. This is this is just a pin. So yeah, it has actually a rubber sealing here in the lid, and it is a bit of glued, so it's not like there's a silicone sealing or something here which you can reuse. And all these threaded inserts here from the screws around the lid, they're all closed on the inside. So there's no way water can come into this case. But as far as I can see, there's no water inside the box. So it actually passed Andy's waterproof test. Yeah, everything seems to be dry, even around the terminals and around the vent. Everything is dry. There's no water inside here, nothing. So that's a good start. So first impression is very clean and neat installation. We've got the BMS here sitting in the lid. Yeah, it has a heatsink down here, which is cooling to the lid. Nice. I would say this is around 50 mil cables here. We will confirm this in a second. The lugs are 50 by 8. 50 by 8. So it's a 50 millimeter cable, and these are 225s. You can see the check marks here on the actual connections. We've got this flimsy insulation cover here on top, which is fine. It just isolates all the connections here against the battery. So I'm trying to get these pins out now so we can have a look at the actual battery cells. Okay, let's have a look under the magic carpet. They have one temperature sensor connected to this middle bus bar here, which is nice. And the other temperature sensor, which I just pulled out, sits in this little silicone pocket here on top of the battery. I don't think this is actually a battery sensor. This is more like the environmental sensor. It is more like the temperature inside the battery box itself. So we've got some Loctite here for the main connections. And we also have this metal holder across the cells. So before we take this off, I'm going to close the lid again. So. Yeah, the battery pack is definitely moving. You can hear it. If I push it to the other side now, you can hear it sliding, and then there you go. Definitely moving. Yeah, you can see how much space there is on this side and how much on this side now. The whole pack has now shifted to the left here. And here we can already see a number on this cell here. So these are certified cells, and you can look up these numbers and scan the QR code and look up the history of this battery on the Gobelpower website. So Gobelpower is quite ahead of most of the manufacturers out there. They are really testing and certifying their cells. They make sure they've got all the data on their website. You scan the QR code and you get all the information about single cell. Or if you buy one of their pre-assembled battery packs, you get the history of all the cells inside these packs, all the testing they have done with it. This is really fantastic, and a transparency we haven't seen from anyone else so far. All the balance cables going to the bus bars, they are actually fed through here this metal bracket. So I have to undo them all. Thankfully it's only a 4S battery. Now I should be able... And there's also the plastic I could hear bouncing around inside. One of the cable clips seems to be broken, which is holding the balance cables in place. So there's not a major thing, but it looks like this plastic is a bit... No, it's actually not flimsy. Ah, there's another one. I think this happens when the battery is shifting, and then these plastic clips here, they smash against the wall here of the case. I wonder if this is a transport damage already, and usually the pack doesn't shift. Yes, I can feel the metal actually has bent in. Yeah, there you can see it. Look at this. The whole metal has bended, while here it is still straight. Okay, this corner is a bit... Maybe it got dropped or something at some stage. But definitely the whole battery pack here has bended down this bracket. It is nice and flat against the wall. Oh, you can actually feel it from the outside here. Ah! Yeah, you can feel this one has a bump to the outside. Yes, there you can see it. So this is how it normally looks like, yeah? It's a nice square-shaped bracket inside. Oh, there's some water. There's some water all around. I can't focus on that. There you can see water in the corner. And all around. Maybe not as watertight as we thought, huh? Well, back to the bracket. That's the normal shape, and this is the damaged shape. Oh yeah, here. Oh, the whole bracket comes off. Look at this. Oh wow. Yeah. This is not the normal shape of this bracket. Yeah, it definitely has some water here under this foam as well. Just right in the middle of the battery. And I don't think there's anything dropped in or something from the lid. So I'm not sure where the water actually got in. Doesn't look like there's any damage or something to the box. If there's one big drop water in it and it runs around the corners, it does exactly this pattern of little droplets in the corner. Yes, it does. Okay, so somewhere there's water coming into this case. Okay, let's just have a look and see if there's any water coming in if I push this case into the water here. Yes, there is. The case is not watertight. You probably can't see the water coming in, but there is a leak. Yeah, there you can see the water coming in. See, it gets more and more. Okay. Oh wow. Gobelpower. God damn, what are you doing? Alright, let's have a look at the QR code of these cells. So they should be lithium cells now, right? Yeah, this is the standard battery in a premium case with the lithium batteries. Oh, it's a bit tricky here to scan the QR codes. Come on, that's easy, come on. It's a good contrast, come on. Yeah, sometimes the cameras or the mobile phones are not pretty... There's too much reflection here from the window. Let's see, let's use the standard QR code reader app. It doesn't scan. It doesn't scan this number. Oh, come on here. Look how perfect it is. Okay, let's put this QR code in manually. That is the one. Click OK. Okay, manufacturer unknown, cell lithium iron phosphate unknown, 0 ampere hours, 0 watt hours. Okay, it seems like the QR code LFP scanner here cannot decode this. Okay, Gobelpower website. We copy the code in there, click on decode. It is a lithium cell, 280 ampere hours, 3.2 volts. Production date 20th of December 23. So this is only a few months old. Production date is the same here. And these cells are not coming from the Jingman factory because these are not EVE cells. These are from King and they have made 30,652 of these cells. That day, or is this, wow, I don't know which time frame that is, but that's a huge number we have not seen before with the EVE cells. Okay, I need to talk to the developer of this lithium iron phosphate QR code scanner here to include this QR code. Just in case one of you wants to scan a lithium cell, this will then work. Oh man, this is not good. This is not good, guys. I have just seen, yes, you can see there is a kink. There you can see it. See that? The reflection? This is exactly where this broken and banded bracket has touched the cell. See, it was mounted like this, and the aluminium bracket actually pushed into the cell, so it's actually damaged. You can see there's a damage, and you can see the kink here inside the aluminium case of the cell, and you can also feel a belly. So I wonder if we take our ruler here. Oh yes, oh yes. See, it's sitting on the plastic bracket at the moment. That would be straight, and it's bended like this already. So it seems like the lithium cells are already floated. Let me check this on this side again. Yes, it's the same. Here it wiggles on the plastic. Now it's touching both sides of the plastic. And this is when it touches the other side. So there is actually already... I never had much luck with the lithium cells, actually. The ones we had before from QSO, you know, the fake lithium, I linked this video down below. They came already floated here to the off-grid garage. So I'm not sure if this is a thing with these cells, or because they're supposed to last 10,000 cycles. But don't know. Yeah, this bracket is just aluminium, so I can really bend it back easily. I think it just doesn't have the mechanical integrity to hold such a battery in place. I really like these plastic spacers here. They make a nice battery block out of these single cells. Yeah, there are some spacers underneath here, so it keeps the cells at a certain distance and allows them to expand and contract. This would be actually a solution I would consider here in the battery shelf as an upgrade. Because now you can see that the gaps are not equal. I think you can buy these parts here to make a cage on AliExpress as well. I have a look and link this down below. Yeah, apart from the transport damage here, very nice build. See, they have used very short bus bars underneath here to mount the balance cable. Negative as well. So the whole design of the battery internally and the workmanship is outstanding. So very high quality again. Everything is thought through. I like they're using 50mm cables here for the main connections. They have check marks on all the connections. So then let me put everything together again and we have a quick look at the BMS. And then we need to test this battery, right? And I think I've just found the right piece of foam to go inside this battery instead of the metal bracket. Okay. Unfortunately, we cannot use this metal bracket here anymore on top of the battery. There's no mounting position on the other side. I think I really have to repair this bracket somehow and screw it back in. All right, everything is back together and I want to have a look at the BMS now. Let's go to the settings. Just want to see the default settings they're delivering this battery with. So capacity, cell full voltage 3.65, minimum 2.5. Oh, that's interesting. Cell 100% capacity voltage 3.35. This is 100% for them. Okay. Balance start voltage 3.3 volts. Well, not really actually, but the charge balancer is turned off, which is good. What do we have here? Over temperature 60, charge under temperature 0 degrees. Nice. Battery over voltage 14.6. Okay, this is for the whole battery. Not really interesting. Cell over voltage 3.65, under voltage 2.5. Charge 210, discharge 210 amps as well. And down here is the short current protection of 1120 amps for 70 microseconds. Yeah, glad they didn't lock down the BMS here, so we can actually adjust these parameters. I would set the balancer start voltage here to 3.45. Maybe put the balance delta down to 5 millivolt, but everything else is fine with me. Okay, before we move on and do something more interesting with the battery here, I just want to quickly show you the BMS data sheet. If you scroll down all the way to the balance function, this BMS has actually a passive balancer, and the balance current is minimum 150, typical 200 and maximum 250 milliamps. So it's actually not a small balancer in this BMS here. And if we charge high enough, we should actually see a result here which balances this battery out without an active balancer. Alright, let's take off these brass terminal screws M8. Oh, there's actually water inside. How comes? So I have now set up the Peter inverter here, connected everything through our smart shunt test to the Gobelpower battery, and we have another look at the BMS here. You can see we have two cells, number 2 and number 4, balancing. We are still balancing while we are charging, thankfully. And I'm going to see if I take off the charge cable here, if it keeps balancing. Yes, it does. So this BMS does it right, regardless if we are charging, not charging, doing anything else. It balances if we are over 3.3 volts and 15 millivolt deviation. So I've set the power supply here to 14.4 volts. The BMS already shows 100% state of charge, and we keep charging until one of the cells hits 3.65 volts, and then we start the discharge test. As always, I have already plugged in the Tesla. Extension lead goes all the way outside to the carport, and we want to discharge the Gobelpower battery with 0.2 C, which is 28 times 2, it's 56 amps. And then we want to measure the capacity as well as the stored energy. And we want to see if there are any surprises while discharging the battery. I mean, positive surprises this time, positive ones. So we now have reached a peak voltage of 14.16 volts. Deviation has increased to 30 millivolt now, which is normal. But 14.2 volts would probably be a voltage which most people charge to. So there's no issue with the battery itself. There's no peaking cell, no runaway, and no overvoltage protection happening at this voltage. I just keep charging here and see how far we can actually charge. So keep in mind, this is the standard battery, not the premium one. So these cells here may not be as matched as in the premium model. So we are now at 14.4 volts, peak voltage. Deviation is 38 millivolt, so it's not too bad actually. Yeah, right? We have seen much worse. So let's increase the voltage a bit and see how far we can go. Okay, I set the power supply to 14.5. Yeah, see, cell number 1 is close to 3.6 volts as well. And I don't think it's a big problem here with the imbalance in this standard battery. Okay, let's increase the voltage a bit more so we get more current. Yeah, cell number 4, 3.63, 40 millivolt deviation. So if we lower the current here and charge the battery slower, the balancer actually has time to catch up and probably balance out this battery. But we also know at this voltage there's not much capacity gain if we charge from 3.6 volts to 3.65 volts. This is basically nothing. So let's leave it running, and we should see 3.65 in cell number 4 any moment. There you go, 3.65, and we've got deviation of 41 millivolt only, 40 millivolt. There we go, 3.65. Cell overvoltage protection, charger has turned off. This is what I'm doing right now here as well. Battery is fully charged. Okay, we've got the smart shunt test here. We need to reset our history. Reset history, yes. Okay, everything is on 0 ampere hours, 0 everything. All right, we're turning on the Peter. Okay, 10 amps, start charging. Okay, I think we cannot use the Tesla to discharge this battery with 0.2 C here. The minimum I can set the Tesla to is 1.2 kilowatts or something, but then we are already pulling 93 amps from the battery, which is 0.4 C almost. So I think we have to come up with another solution here. Okay, I've now connected the power supply here, which charges our battery shelf. And I think this is what we have always used when we tested 12 volt batteries. Only with the 48 volt batteries we are actually able to charge the Tesla then. Okay, so this shows me 5 amps here on the power supply. I'm increasing the amps now, 6, 7, 8. So 10 amps on the power supply is 51 amp here. Can go even one higher. 56 is perfect. Okay, let's leave it at 10 amps. Once the voltage lowers, the current will increase anyway a bit. So we are discharging a bit slower to begin with, and then it automatically increases when the battery gets empty. The smart shunt says 50 amps discharging. Let's see. Yeah, we have already discharged 8 ampere hours and 0.1 kilowatt hours, it claims. 632 watts we are discharging with the PIDA inverter now. That seems to be reasonable now. We're discharging with 0.2 C, as we always do. All right, this will take 5 hours, as always. We see us long after sunset, and then we will see how much capacity we get out of this Gobelpower battery. Oh, it just made it right on time. Okay, let me start the screen recorder. So we've got an evidence. So we are at 10.4 volt with the shunt measures, but the PIDA here says actually we are at 10 volts. So it could happen that the actual inverter, oh, here we go, it just turned off. All right, let's have a look what we have. So, oh, no, I think the BMS has shut down. Damn it. Okay, let's have a look in the BMS, what's going on. Cell undervoltage protection we have. If we can reactivate everything. Yep, there it is again. Okay, cool. So let's go back into our smart shunt and get the results from our test. Oh man, I can't believe I just made it back in time. All right, history. So we have discharged this battery with 286 ampere hours. So this is 6 ampere hours more than the rated 280 ampere hours. And we have also discharged the battery with 3.7 kilowatt hours, which is more than the predicted 3,580 watt hours, so 3.58. So just a tick above the rated capacity and energy. Okay, my friends, there you have it. The Gobelpower 12 volt 280 ampere hour. No, it's not the premium one. It's the standard edition. So, well, you have seen the test and review of this battery now. All the features, all the flaws. So while we were discharging, I have actually banged this bracket here back into shape. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do this and drill holes into this box. So, guys, I must admit, the expectations were actually pretty high with this battery here, because we have tested Gobelpower BMSs and batteries, and the quality was always superb. There was almost nothing to complain, a few things here and there, but not like with other manufacturers. Mostly everything was well designed and nicely put together. Yeah, so I don't know why they are going into a market for a 12 volt battery or 24 volt battery, what you can buy from their website as well. Is this a big market actually? I have no idea. So I would say this battery has some room for improvements. And I know this is a fairly heavy battery, but what I would like to see is some proper handles on the side here, yeah. And the other 12 volt manufacturers, they have actually shown us what you can do with in terms of handles or straps, or the larger batteries, they've got this rope, and it doesn't take up much space, but it's very handy to carry these batteries around. So I'm not 100% sure why they have decided to come up with this lifting strap here. Definitely on the list of something we haven't seen before, right? And in terms of the IPX6, yes, the case is waterproof as far as the lid, all the connections, the terminals and the valve goes. But for some reason there is a tiny hole or crack or something in one of the corners. And this corner was not the side where the actual damage occurred inside. So this is the side where the cell and the bracket got damaged. But the actual leak is on the other side here in this corner. So obviously there are some issues with the manufacturing of these aluminum cases. Do you need aluminum cases, or can you use a plastic case like with the other manufacturers have done? Because then it definitely doesn't leak in this corner, right? Unless it's really cracked. So I'm a bit unsure what the actual purpose of this battery is here. Is it a camping, an RV or a boat battery or something? Definitely not something you carry around because of the weight and of these carrying straps. So for me, it seems like Gobelpower hasn't found the right purpose for this battery here. What do they want to achieve with this battery? The JBD BMS inside is a good choice. Yes, they could have installed a JK BMS with an active balancer. Would be even better. But I think the 150-200 milliamps the BMS can actually balance this battery with should be sufficient to keep the cells under control. So I'm actually pretty sure we will see this battery again here on the workbench once it has been redesigned and all the issues have been fixed. So to come to a final verdict about this battery here from Gobelpower, at the moment I would give this battery here probably a 2 out of 5 frogs. And the damaged cell and case is certainly not something Gobelpower is responsible for. It is clearly a transport damage, but the internal design of such a weak bracket, holding this huge and heavy battery block inside only at the top of this aluminium bracket, this is clearly a design fault. And clearly this costs Gobelpower a frog. I really like they're putting all the specifications of this battery, the BMS and the watertight certificate on their website to download. So there's lots of information for each of these batteries. So we could give it a 3 out of... No. We will stay with 2 out of 5 frogs. And if they improve and modify this case and we test it again here, we may give them a 3. But for now, I would say 2 frogs. Okay, my friends. That's all I have for you today. Thank you very much. Let me know what you think about the Gobelpower battery. As always, I'll link this all down below and on my website as well. I think there's a discount code as well. So if you're on the market for 12 or 24 volt batteries, and Gobelpower is certainly a manufacturer you should have a look at before making a decision to buy such a battery. I mean, the transport damage and then this one corner leaking there. So they definitely didn't send me a selected battery here. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your amazing support here. And also welcome to all the new subscribers here on the channel. On the road to 100,000 subscribers. I can't even. It is crazy. And a special thank always goes to the people who are supporting this channel financially, either by donating, buying me a beer, a coffee, a smoothie, or becoming a member of the channel now. So thank you very much to these special and beautiful supporters. I never had a sponsored video on this channel here. Never. And guys, until the next video, when we probably do some more network cabinet work and do some cabling for the 12 volt power supply, and some of the parts have already arrived. I've got all the step up converters now to 19 volt and 48 volt. So we can actually start mounting this equipment inside the, where is it? There it is. The network cabinet. And I also have to remove 6 more of these yucky, disgusting cloth insulation here in the garage. But this is not your concern. And it is probably time then in the next 2-3 weeks or something to tell you about the biggest change here in the off-grid garage. Guys, until the next video, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks a lot for watching. See you then. Bye-bye.